Welcome mates, I'm Bloodthirsty Lord, but you can call me Lordy, and we're back on Paragon once again on the main screen for today's last video. Yes, this is the last video for today. We've made so many videos in the past couple of hours, or the past couple of days. I've only had 1 hour sleep in 48 hours. That's ridiculous, I know, but we're trying our best to keep you guys up to date as much as possible while trying to do the real life stuff at the same time. It's hard, but I love it, and obviously this is my passion, so we're going to keep on doing it. And within this last video that we're going to upload today, it's going to be a build-in guide video on the new hero Yin. She's a very enjoyable hero. If you've played her yet, you can see how energetic you can get when you're playing this character. It is so fun. And within this build that we're going to discuss today, it's going to be crazy damage, crazy crits, and followed up by some crazy new cards that got reworked in the latest patch, so the build feels like it's been revived and feels so good, especially while using it on this type of hero. It's just amazing. So there's going to be a lot of juicy information within this video, but before getting into this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button to keep up to date with the greatest and latest Paragon Gaming content and Paragon Gaming news. As always, expect it here first, so without further ado, let's get straight into this. So this is my Yin build with the name of 100% crit and cleave. This is going to be an amazing build. Obviously we're going to use it in the future for one of our gameplays, a live gameplays hopefully, and it's going to be really fun. But within this actual build, we have some really interesting concepts, and it might get really complex. Because I don't build like everyone else. I don't just have a set build for every game. That's just ridiculous in my opinion. It makes you so weak, so useless in some type of games when you can't counteract, pretty much adapt to your opponent in order to win the game. That's kind of sad if you don't have that in your deck. So I try my best to keep that in my deck as many ways as possible, and you'll be able to see it throughout this video guaranteed. So a basic prime card will be the Warlord. Obviously it's just a great prime card, and obviously you have to put one of those on, so the Warlord card is very great. Consumables will be Health Pot, 2 Strike Tokens, and a Blink Charm. Blink Charm can be picked up at any game, but the Strike Tokens and Health Pot are made for your early game, so this is really good to obviously do increased damage in the early game, followed by having some type of sustain. And obviously we don't have mana pots yet, so if you're trying to rely on mana, it's not going to work out for you, unless you go for the River Blast every time you're about to get out of mana. I suggest playing smart and using your abilities wisely. You don't waste all your mana out of nowhere because you spammed your abilities 100 times within that couple of minutes. What if your team member that was a jungler ganks your lane and then you have no abilities or mana to actually follow up and help him? So that would be kind of awkward. So you don't want that to happen. So make sure you focus on your mana and don't use too much of it. But also with the sustain of your health pot, that will help you a lot to stay in lane longer and gain more XP while doing some crazy base attack damage, also ability damage with these 2 strike tokens. Blink Charm, obviously really great card we just discussed. But the early game items will be Madstone Gem and Red Eye Nitro. Let's go to Madstone Gem first. This card will have a 12 power initial stat. Once fully upgraded, it will have a 5.5 attack speed. We have 3 1-mana casts on this card, so pretty much a crazy amount of power, then followed up by the little juicy effect of attack speed at the very end. Obviously really great, something that really works well on Fury characters, and that's why Madstone Gem is a very good early game card and something I will never deny. So that's why I've chosen that card as my early game card, followed up by the other choice. I can choose these whenever I want, depending on the scenario, if I want more attack speed and crit, or if I want more damage, followed up by attack speed after. Either way, I feel like Madstone Gem is always the first card I rush in the early game item, followed up by Red Eye Nitro, which is pretty much a card with initial stacks of 5.5 attack speed, 4% crit chance, with a full upgrade bonus of 5.5 attack speed, and then obviously we have a kinetic and 2 wounds on this. So we have benefits of crit and obviously attack speed being really high on this card, and it really helps with the early game with clearing waves, using our cleave ability, and most likely the reason why we say 100% cleave is with Yin is because one of her abilities, Windburn, does give her the chance to 100% cleave with that ability, which is insane. So if you have a little bit of crit and some damage at attack speed, and you can just whip non-stop, you're cleaving enemies, you're doing damage, you're critting them, it's just amazing. So those are the 2 early game items I always try to go for. We're going to skip the Sage Ward because I don't want to talk about it too much right now. I want to talk about the main build and then we get into the other part. Then we have this Rift Scepter, which has very high upgrades on the actual card itself. Obviously, the initial stacks of Rift Scepter is 6 power, 4% crit chance, and obviously upgrades to 12 power. So we get that 12 power increase at the very end. We have 2 major casts followed by 1 major wound, providing us with crit and more damage. Obviously really great. That is one of the cards where we gain a lot of damage out of it. Then we have Spear of the Rift Hunter. We have 2 of these, but the first one we have does have a power upgrade, followed up by 2 major wounds. The initial stats for Spear of the Rift Hunter are 6 power, 4% crit chance, and 8% crit chance. The reason why we're building Rift Hunters and Rift Scepters is the idea of 100% crit. That will be in the title as well. It's pretty obvious what the build is already. 100% crit is amazing. I love it. I enjoy it. I've always had it in all my builds from the back in the days in Agoro, aka Legacy. And that was really fun. So pretty much we're doing the exact same here. Spear of the Rift Hunter, again with 3 major wounds. By completing these 3 items here, I do have 100% crit chance. amazing, mate. And a good amount of damage at the same time. That's why I like those 3 cards when I put it into like a 100% crit chance build, and this works really well with this character. So that's why I had to do it. Then we're going to skip that card, we're going to skip that card, and we're going to go down to this card right here, which has initial stacks of 2.5 lifesteal, but when you fully upgrade it, you do gain a 100% crit bonus, and we do have 3 lesser drains on this card to upgrade it as quick as possible, and also you gain that lifesteal advantage, or also activating that full crit bonus of 100%. That's what we want, because obviously we're building a lot of crit cards, we need to be able to crit bonus out of it. If we're not able to crit bonus out of it, it's kind of ridiculous. So that's why you build this card, and it works really well for sustain, in lane, in fights, because obviously doing high amounts of damage and crit, you're going to gain high amounts of lifesteal back at the same time. Like, you can be really low in health and give you like 5 seconds, you're back to full health, or even 3/4 of your health, which is insane. So that's why I took that, and one of the new cards I got reworked in the latest patch is Stinger Boost. I decided to test this out and take it, and I feel like it's a really great card. It falls down to the universal affinity, and it is a rare card. The initial stacks for this card is 60 mana, 11 attack speed, and the unique passive is Empower Basic on ability hit. Gain bonus ability damage on your next basic attack equal to 50 plus 20% of your power. Bonus damage buff will expire after 20 seconds, 1.5 second cooldown. So if you do have a decent amount of attack speed and damage, every time you hit or go for a slash, you have this bonus effect happening, which is going to obviously do bonus damage. And Windburn does activate that most likely. I'm pretty sure Windburn does activate that passive alongside the actual way it works. So I really like the idea of having this card in my deck, and it's going to work really well. So I'm hoping that we can test this more in the future, because I've only tested it a couple times, and it seems to work really well. I need to keep testing it though. This card is maybe situational right now. I might keep it or might take it away, but right now I'm going to keep it because I really enjoy it. So we're going to keep that there, and then we move on to our situational cards, or as switchables, that's what we call it. So Blink Charm is one of them. Pretty much the cards that are around 5 points are my switchables. So Blink Charm, Sage Ward, the Hunter's Guild, Silent Indignation, those 4 cards are my switchables. So anytime in the game, if I need something that really helps me out, say early game I want a Sage Ward, I can get my vision early game, dominate the vision both in the river or pretty much in the lanes, so then I can just survive as long as possible. You can use this build in any lane, it doesn't really matter, but having vision is really great for your playstyle and you're helping your team, so when something goes wrong, you can pick that out and obviously abuse the enemy team for the mistakes. So Sage Ward early game is really great, so that's why I left it there as one of the early game switchables. Then later on I can switch it to this card here or this card here, depending on the situation. Obviously this card is a cleanse mechanic card, which gives me a power and obviously health as initial stacks. There's only an active which will remove all debuffs from your hero, cleanse ability. So that's obviously something really great and something I really like on majority of my growth heroes within Paragon, because it's such a great card. Then Silent Indignation, something I really enjoy, and it obviously works really well with attack speed heroes or people that do adore the idea of attack speed, and this works with this character guaranteed. With 2.5 of lifesteal initially, the active is 27.5 attack speed for 6 seconds, cooldown 45 seconds. It feels like a Ghost Blade from League of Legends, the item there. That is why I really love this item and I keep using it, and I'll bring it more and more within my builds to showcase to you guys and make you guys use this as well, because some of the other cards are just passives and they're kind of boring. This brings something interesting and obviously brings a lot of it, and that's why I love this card. And obviously we'll keep using it with my growth affinity heroes, that's why it's in there as well. And that's pretty much it. Okay, but then we discussed the whole build. I'm hoping that wasn't too overboard with all the information, but we're going to do a quick overview of my early game to late game. So pretty much I'll start off the game with a health bot and 2 strike tokens, followed up into my early game items of Mad Story Gem, Red Eye Nitro, in that order usually. Then if I want to pick up a Sage Ward, I do so. If not, I go straight to the crit. So then I build Rift Scepter, Spear of the Rift Hunter, or Spear of the Rift Hunter, the second version. Depending on the situation, if I want more crit, I'll build the last one. If I want to get power, I'll build Rift Scepter. If I want a bit of power and damage, if I want a bit of power and crit, I'll obviously go for the second one. And then it pretty much completes after there. After that, I want to try to complete all this as quick as possible. Once I've done that, I go into, and obviously I'll go into this card here, which will give me a crit bonus and some lifesteal, which is really great, so I'll try to get that done as quick as possible as well. Then after that, it's pretty much just pick and choose. Do I want to get this card right now? If I do, then obviously I'll go for it. This should be my final build all the time, so I'll go for it. If not, and I feel like I'm kind of falling off at the moment, I'll kind of leave it until pretty much the last item. Then I'll go to my switchables and pick those, then keep playing with them until I reach 60 card points, and then discard one of them, then go back to this card here. And depending on the situation that I'm in, I always adapt myself to that situation in order to win. So I'll be able to use this card, that card, the Sage Ward, or the Blink Charm. Also gaining mobility, vision, pretty much cleansing yourself out of any scenario, and at a lot of attack speed. That is the idea of my switchables, aka situational cards, that I use. Even though I call Stinger Boost a situational card, it's just because I'm not sure if I should keep it. Like, I really like the card, but I don't know if it's really good. I haven't seen too much of effect. I see it sometimes, but then other times I don't really see it. But it's something I need to keep testing on the hero, and hopefully it works really well. So that's my build. Obviously a lot of crit damage, a lot of cleave, a lot of pretty much everything. I love it. I honestly love this build. But mates, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this. What do you think about it? Do you think it's a good build? Do you think it's a bad build? Tell me your thoughts on it. If you think you can change some of these items to make it better, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like, leave a comment, honestly. If it's something like, oh, don't use the Stinger Boost card, use something else, please tell me. Because I'm always up to suggestions, and obviously using your ideas to help me out, and obviously giving you ideas to help you out. That's how it works on the channel. Hopefully it keeps on going. So leave your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. So mates, if you did enjoy this video, show your support by smashing that button like button. Let's try to get 200 likes on this video. If you guys want to see more Paragon Gaming content and Paragon Gaming news, all you have to do is share this with your friends and hit the subscribe button to become a mate today. That is all for this video. Over time to go, but don't you worry. We're back very soon. Hey Dad Boys, because they ain't seen nothing yet. Oh my god, 3 AM finish the commentary, 6 AM is up, 7 AM fall asleep. Ah.
And it feels right.